Standard Gains Podcast, Episode 3, Take 1.
Here we go. As of right now, we have 4,500 subscribers on YouTube, 19,000 listeners, and that's only on one episode. Episode 0, that was our intro episode. Thank you so much for the support so far. And, well, we're definitely listening to you guys' feedback. Let's get started with today's podcast.
So today we're going to be speaking about a cool research that's done amongst 177 self-made millionaires. And they looked at their habits. And out of that, they compiled a list of 17 millionaire habits.
But first, I got a dilemma for you. And if you know this guy is full of habits throughout the day, morning routine, evening routine. But what if you had to choose? Morning routine or evening routine?
Ooh. That is a very difficult one.
What is more important? Answer, and we're going to get into the...
Morning routine.
Okay.
Morning routine. All right, then I have one for you. A habit is best if you make it yourself, or a habit is best if you have someone who holds you accountable to keep that habit.
If you make it yourself.
All right.
Ooh, okay. So why morning?
It's a very difficult one because the evening routine will improve your sleep, which is super, super important.
Exactly.
But the morning routine will make your day more productive. And I think, and this is why I choose it, if your morning routine is kind of shitty and then your whole day is not as productive, you will probably keep working later into the night because you have to catch up a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
So even if you would have a morning or an evening routine, your sleep would still be kind of short because your whole day wasn't as productive. So that's sort of my thought process there, but it's hard.
I would definitely agree. I would definitely go for morning routine as well. Just so you start the day off right, and then you can go for the day fully and have a productive day. And yeah, if your sleep is shitty, that is definitely not optimal. Luckily, we can have both. Luckily. But I would definitely go for morning routine as well.
All right. And then I ask you about if you do it yourself or have someone to hold you accountable.
I think holding someone accountable for their habits or creating a habit is amazing, works really well, but that's short-term thinking. At least if it works, then it works, because that's what I do with the 90 day. I let people work out for 90 days and help them diet and stuff like that. It works really well, but they have not created that themselves. They did that because they wanted it, but I hold them accountable, so that's why they succeed so far 100% of the time. Yeah,
I completely agree. And the reason why I ask you is actually I've had a lot of students in the past, and some were super successful. I'm actually working with an 18-year-old guy right now who's killing it. And he hired me as a mentor to structure his business and to grow his business. But I went through the list of, hey, what habits do you have and what do you do in a day? And before actually even being able to work on his business, we said, hey, you have to create some routines, some morning routines, some habits. And for him and a lot of other students, it helps if they have to actually text me every morning, like, I have to do this or I've done this. And I once started with Iman, who we also discussed earlier. And the first thing that we did, and he didn't have any money then, he had to send me a photo every morning that he was actually working because he dropped out of high school at 16. And I said, hey, there's a big chance that now you're just going to screw up and do nothing. So every morning he had to send me a photo. And if he didn't send that by 7 a.m., he had to send me $5, which was a lot of money for him at the time. And that has helped him build routines.
Ooh, that's a really fun one. So it is definitely, I don't want to say it does not work, but it's really great to get someone going. But at some point they have to make
themselves
a habit themselves and make it their habit instead of your habit that you want them to do.
I agree.
So okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So we spoke about the research. Let's get into it now.
Let's get into the habits.
And there's 17, and I have to do a little cheating. I have to look at my phone right now. The 17 habits that they found, I'm just going to list them first. Number 1, they read consistently. 2, they exercise. 3, they hang out with other successful people. 4, they volunteer. 5, they practice dream setting. 6, they pursue their own goals. 7, they sleep at least 7 hours a night. I'm happy you came back here to sleep. Number 8, they get up early. Number 9, they have multiple sources of income. Number 10, they find and check in with mentors. Number 11, they help others succeed. 12, they're positive. 13, they don't follow the herd. 14, they practice good etiquette. 15, they dedicate 15 to 30 minutes a day to just thinking. 16, they never give up. And 17, they seek feedback.
Wasn't that amazing listening to Bob's voice while doing that? Amazing. And we picked our top 5 and we can go really in depth in all of them. And the last one you said, they seek feedback, is actually a fun one. We sought feedback for this podcast, for the Standard Gains podcast, and we didn't really get any really real feedback.
Everything was positive.
Everything was positive, but real feedback is that you can learn from, and obviously positive feedback you can learn from and say, oh, well, we're definitely going to be doing that in next episodes as well. But the real feedback would be, hey, this was bad. Can you get rid of this, change this? And we definitely got that on the YouTube video on the first podcast. So thank you guys for that. We'll definitely be listening to that. But our top five.
Our top five.
And we're going to start with one that obviously everyone already does or should be doing. And it's sleep. They get 7 hours of sleep.
Well, they should be. And it's funny. I actually just finished a book called Why We Sleep. And if you read that book, trust me, you would never, ever in your life consider sleeping less again.
Than 7 hours.
Than 7 hours, and probably even more. And keep in mind, sleeping for 7 hours means you have to be in bed for 7.5 to 8 hours. It takes some time to fall asleep. And it's
proper sleep.
Yeah, well, proper sleep. But even, so these days you have something called the quantified self. And quantified selves mean we can start measuring things. We have wearables that monitor your heart rate, your sleep. And I've been doing that for a while now. And you don't really notice, but you wake up 5 to 10 times in a night. Even if you don't remember. You just wake up lightly for like a few minutes. So if you actually want to get 7 hours of sleep, including the 15 minutes you roughly need to fall asleep.
Oh, I did not notice.
No, you don't notice. But it's, and I saw it and I thought, wait, my wearable must be broken. And then I did some research, and apparently you just wake up quite often. Okay. But it's, it's not that, you don't really notice it. But 7 hours of sleep means 7.5 to 8 hours in bed. And there's so many health benefits. And there's so many very, very bad things that happen to you if you don't sleep.
So why would people not ever want to sleep less than 7 hours? What was the...
Well, I think there's a few issues right now. Society is sort of pushing us. So first of all, in a lot of countries, which is really weird, for example, in America, a lot of high schools start at 7:30. A lot of kids, especially if your parents aren't very rich, they go to school by school bus. So sometimes they're picked up at 5:30. And we have something, basically we have a rhythm, right? Our circadian rhythm, that's what it's called. And that means that we start getting tired at a certain time in day. And it has to do with the light, and it has to do with a lot of other things. And we get our best sleep actually early in the evening and until about 7 a.m. So if you cut it short, you can try going to bed earlier, but just all of the light and all of the other systems and processes and chemicals in our brain just don't give us good sleep. So we actually need to sleep, between certain hours. And if you just get up too early, so that's one of the things, right? The school is just an example. But just our whole life, we're so busy. We have so many, look at the lights above us right now. A lot of blue light. It means that melatonin won't be created in our brain, which means that we're not really feeling sleepy. So we're going to go to bed later. There's so many distractions. So you know what? I'll check one more episode on Netflix. I'll just check my email once more. And then before you know it, it's midnight and you have to get up at 5 or 6.
Oh, so what were the real bad side effects of not sleeping for 7 hours? Was that mentioned?
Yes. Where shall we start? So, well, first of all, health-wise, chances of diabetes double. Your memories. So what happens if we learn things? Once we sleep, our short-term memories basically are brought through a lot of processes to our long-term memories. They're stored. If you don't get enough sleep, and especially your REM sleep, then your memory won't work as well. If you get something like cancer cells, they grow twice as fast if you're sleep deprived. There's just so many things.
Oh, the memory one is a very interesting one.
It is.
Because I actually, when I was still in school, it was mentioned quite often that when you would learn the entire day, even in like midnight, because the next day you had a test, then that would not for everyone beneficial, because there's a high chance that like the next day you've forgotten already. You just you're not memorizing it at all, and that's actually very interesting.
It is, and they did a lot of research where they made people study and then test them later. So they did two things. People had to study, and right after that they went to sleep, and they checked them in the morning after. 12 hours later, how much did they know? And they made people actually study in the morning, and 12 hours later ask them about their knowledge. The same day.
Yes.
The people who had sleep remembered much more. So sleep is very important. And if we just cut short our sleep, we forget. But also things like Alzheimer's disease and other things are very much linked to just not having enough sleep, and especially the I think that was the REM or non-REM sleep. I'm not sure if it's deep sleep. And it's also, it's super interesting, and I'm definitely not an expert. I just read like 3 books on sleep, but
this is very interesting.
It is super interesting. And every time I read a book about it, I think, okay, I have to optimize my sleep.
And a fun thing about this is that one of the habits in the list is they get up early.
Yeah, which which just isn't true. Well, apparently the people they did the research on, they get up early.
They get it, yeah.
Yeah. And again, if you look at how and I don't want to get too technical, especially because I'm not a neuroscientist or I haven't studied for this.
But you actually mentioned this quickly already, that the school starts early. So
that's an issue. Well, so there's two types of people. There's morning people and night owls, right? And we often feel like, oh, you're just a night owl because you go to bed late and because maybe you're in your student years and you're drinking a lot or something. But actually, there's just, your brain is wired differently. There's two types, if we generalize, two types of people. You could be a morning person just because your brain works differently than if you're a night owl.
Yes.
So if you're a night owl, you're not sharp and productive in early hours. So you can get up early, you can punish yourself and really focus or say, I have to work. It doesn't work. So again, and we've spoken about this before, do what works for you. And if that means getting up at 8 or 9 or 10, perfect. If it means getting up at 5 a.m., perfect.
And getting your 7 hours of sleep.
That's a very important one.
Okay, so that concludes sleep and why this is one of our favorites.
Yeah,
and
maybe one more thing, because that's for if you're listening and you're struggling with sleep. If you want to improve your sleep, first of all, have an evening routine. We've spoken about that.
Yes.
Second of all, the best sleep is what we get if actually your room temperature is around 18 degrees. I understand not everyone can do it, but try and lower it. Try put your phone away an hour prior to sleep. Those are just some things that you can fix really fast and are very important.
Some real good tips, quick tips
Maybe
here.
blue light blocking glasses.
Blue light blocking glasses, really big fan of them as well.
Yeah, although research isn't still
I know,
100%.
but I feel good with them and actually instantly knows a difference. So that is more like a personal subjective opinion. But yeah, these were some really good tips, and that is why this one is actually on our, well, not
number one
necessarily to 5. They're our top 5, but this one we're starting with because, well, that's the start of the day, and it applies to everyone.
So next in the list is they hang out with successful people,
and I definitely agree. And well, main reason why for me in what I've done on YouTube and everything so far is, for the creative side, that's a really big part, because you cannot talk with other people about YouTube that have no clue what's going on YouTube, or they're not even a YouTuber. It's really hard to talk with people that are not a YouTuber about YouTube stuff, about statistics, new video ideas even. The normal general public could give some good feedback, but when you're looking at it from a optimization side, for example, like no one's gonna, they're not even interested sometimes. Like, all right, cool, I did not know this was all in YouTube, but yeah, can you not just make a video and then you get that, and then you can't really talk with them about that. And for learning as well, you want to get like uplifted by people that are like-minded. They have tips that you don't know, you can give them tips, and there's just a lot of also creativity again there. And I would say it does not limit you in any way, because they think the same way. So it is also for growth of your business in its entire. That's how I agree.
And I think even more so, because this is, surrounding yourself with people who are in the same sort of business, what you speak about. But also, if I just think about the conversations that we can have sometimes, we're very different. Think about the morning routines and the way that we. But you can learn a lot from each other, because we're so in such a different niche and such a different, you. Not just that you teach me about YouTube for growing my channel, and that I can maybe help you with investing or other things, but also just coming up with new ideas and just surrounding yourself with these people.
But I mean, we are different, but we're not. We are like-minded. We are. I mean, with other successful people. I'm not sure if I want to label myself exactly like that, but to stick to it, yes. Two successful people, quote unquote, that have a lot of conversations about a lot of stuff, and that has only been. Great so far, actually. That's what led to this podcast even. So
very true. And if you actually look at our Discord right now, we have our Discord channel where people can just join and talk with each other. And already after we've launched it a week ago as we film this now, it's so cool to see that people are just connecting and giving each other tips and pushing each other. And I saw comments like, oh, I'm so happy I found this group, because now I finally have other people who have the same mindset. I don't have any people, I can speak about these topics with. So, and
it actually even limits people to not even start with what they want to start with.
Exactly.
We are working with someone right now. Not want to give away too much because we're doing this for a series. But we're working with someone who's setting up a business, and he wanted to do this for a very long time, but he didn't want to do it, or he felt like he couldn't do it because there was no one to talk to, and it is a decent investment to start with. So there is all the doubt, and no one is telling him given just a little bit of tips or saying, hey, just go for it, like-minded people, and he just didn't do it. And now we are here, and we said, we're going to help you. And he's was
pushing
instantly,
like crazy.
He was hooked. So that was really fun. And it just shows we are the Discord for him. What we see happening on Discord as well. Lots of people are going there. So it's crazy how in 1 week so many people can discuss stuff together with like-minded people. So that's a lot of fun. By the way, if you want to check that out, that's in the show notes.
It is.
If you want to find like-minded people, or you can also check out some extra content there. But that is really fun.
Yeah, and I think last point for this one for me is I've been lucky enough to work with quite some successful people over the years now, and I often get the question, what's like the common thing that you see? So sort of the habit that you see or the common denominator that you see with these people. And they always look for people who are successful to surround them with. They always look for even to hire people who are smarter than them if they're hiring.
That was the Elon Musk way of hiring. That's what went viral. I think almost 2 years ago now. He was always hiring people that were smarter than them, and then he I read this in his book actually, and he interrogated everyone because they were smarter than him in a certain subject. He just asked an insane amount of questions when it was about, for example, like a rocket launch, and he just talked with them, and he learned literally everything at that moment. Like, that shows the genius of Elon Musk, obviously.
That he can learn that so fast.
Fast, but every single question he asked, it was just, he would just memorize it, and he just remembers that. And that's how he basically becomes as good as the one he's hiring in what he does. So that was a really fun way. But it shows exactly to always look for the edge and look for people smarter than you, better than you, that you can learn from. So that is other successful people.
I think so, yeah. I think that concludes number 2.
I think that concludes number 2. Number 3 is they have multiple sources of income.
Yes, and I would like to make a little side note here, because a lot of people in business are...
you hear the side.
Well, so a lot of people think that they should start a lot of different businesses straight away, because I need multiple sources of income, so I have this one business, it's sort of starting to roll, and then I'm starting a new business, and that's not the way to go. If you think about, except this is always an annoying thing, people always think about Elon Musk, he's like, I don't know, he does things that no one else can do.
He has like 100 companies. So.
Exactly. But if you think about, other than him, every super successful person, they do one thing and they become the absolute best in it, and they're obsessed by this.
Microsoft, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates,
they're all doing Warren Buffett. It's just that one thing. However, that doesn't mean they only have one source of income, right? They invest in real estate. They invest in a lot of other things that generate income, but it doesn't mean that they are starting 1,000 businesses. So I agree, but not
a nuance to this would be seek for different sources of income in what you're doing, in the business you're doing. So a good one would actually be, from my perspective, as a YouTube guy, as a YouTuber, that is definitely more than true, because YouTube ad revenue, there was this apocalypse going on. YouTubers were getting paid a decent amount, and at some point, a certain YouTuber did something, and it wasn't really popular by the advertisers, by every single company basically. And once a few companies do it, everyone goes. So there were no ads on videos. Basically, that's how it felt, which means that there is no money generating through views. And if that's your only source of income, and that is your YouTube channel, your YouTube views, then it's done. But that doesn't mean that your YouTube channel does not can generate more money through different sources of income. And that means that, for example, you can have YouTube views, but besides that, lots of YouTubers back in the day already sold merch. Yep. So that's another way of another source. And you can also make courses. You can sell that. So that's already 2 different ways. You can also funnel them to a lot of different stuff, like affiliate links in description. That means that the more views you have, the more people are clicking in the links in description, and that is also growing. So if your YouTube channel is growing, but ads are worth nothing, then you can say, oh, the channel's not growing if that's your only source of income. But if you're growing like crazy and you have 5 different things that you're selling or different stuff, then yes, you can actually live with it or even like grow like crazy. So that's how I would.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think in business, it's almost the same. So you can have Well, there's a few things you can do. You can have one business really focused on one thing. Also, keep in mind there that sometimes I speak with people who say, "Oh, I struggle with growing my business," and I ask them, "Okay, so what exactly does your business do?" They say, "Well, we do digital marketing, we make websites, we do content creation, we do social media posts and growth," and they list like 5, 6, 7 things. The issue there is if I wanna hire someone who's best at making websites, I don't want to see on their website that they do 20 things, because if I see a list that long,
yeah.
I'm going to assume that they're probably okay at most things. But if I see all we do is we create the most beautiful websites and these are the businesses we've worked for, I'm like, wow, they really know what they're doing because they focus on one thing. So even there, it's for the sales, it's focusing on one thing. And then you have, okay, it's generating money. Now I can start investing into maybe real estate. Maybe I can, invest in some other things that mean that I can actually. So you have multiple sources of income. I mean, it's always funny
Yeah,
when
yeah. So what you're saying is actually don't look at it or look at multiple sources just from the company itself, but also the revenue that it's generating,
exactly.
and put that into something else that is basically passive income.
Exactly. And one side note about passive income, it's never really passive. People
exactly.
expect, okay, so I buy real estate and now I start generating money. Well,
Definitely not.
Yeah, there's still issues. You have to find tenants, you have to find, and if I have a real estate agent who actually finds my tenants, but still he sometimes reaches out to me, they sometimes reach out.
And that's outsourced. So
it's outsourced, but it's still not really passive, and it takes away part of my income.
Then that means that it's not passive, but it is sort of. So I get the point, and I like the point as well.
And probably the last sort of side note is I always tell people they should do this, and it's also one of the dilemmas you asked me in episode number 2. But I myself am really bad at just focusing on one thing. I mean, I have my software business.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have the coaching business. And then we have the podcast, which I could see as the coaching business,
if you want to, because for this point. But yes, it is hard to have a lot of different stuff going on and to choose not to, because there are so many fun pathways to go at. Because I am starting a lot of YouTube channels myself as well. Yes, it's all YouTube, but they are on itself different businesses. If you look at it, some are not, some are. The podcast definitely is. I mean, you're also doing your hobby, so if it's still fun and not, I mean, I would say I'm pretty good at creating videos, so I'm still sticking to that.
Exactly, and I think that again, and we've said this so many times already. At the end of the day, you have to look what works for me, but also what do I want to do?
Yeah,
because you can really focus on one thing you hate or you don't really enjoy, or just I enjoy starting new things. So. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. So, okay. So there is a nuance to this one, but definitely focus on what you're good at and get really good at that. Be the best, actually.
Be the best. And then we go to number 4, and they help others succeed.
That is one of the most important ones, together with, that's also on the list, with positivity. And I would say it's just what you're basically radiating, just positivity and help. And help to others, the like-minded, other successful people, can only mean growth in your own company as well, but just helping others, you only learn from it, because we're helping each other right now. You are like the mentor is like I called you, exactly, and I'm here, the YouTube guy, and we are just helping each other. And in the months that we have been working on this podcast and helping each other, we both, I think, learned a lot already, an insane amount.
But also maybe the funny thing is the reason that we start this podcast and we thought it would be cool to do something together is because we didn't meet up thinking, oh, we should have a business together, we should do something together. We met up and we had a cool conversation. We started helping each other, and then through there it was, oh, it would be so cool to actually start something together. So that wasn't the intention, but it's the result of helping each other.
And also, we really talked about creating something that could benefit others. Other 100%. Like-minded people. Definitely, this is a business, 100%. But it's a business that we both wanted to start individually, then decided to do it together because there would be 10x value there for people watching, and it would be probably a lot more fun. So it is, again, also helping each other, helping everyone that's watching. I hope that's happening right now.
Yeah.
There are some tips you take from this. But definitely that should be a mindset. I think that's also why it's in the list. It should be a mindset of the individual itself, the successful person. So really focus on helping others. If they need help, you will probably 100% get something out of it yourself. Not you should go into with that thought, but it can only be positive, a positive outcome.
And if I just look back at some people I've helped, when I started my whole mentorship and coaching, it was for free.
Yeah.
Partly
Ooh.
because I wasn't too confident about, hey, can I really help them? I've never done any coaching. But if I think back about those people, so many of them are now almost mentors of mine because some have like
Yeah,
passed me
you
or
learn.
other.
Yeah.
You learn from each other. And then, we started with, it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people. And how cool is it if you've actually helped someone and now they're super successful and they can start helping you and you're like this cool, you become friends and you're help. It's so cool to create
Yeah.
that sort of community and to do that. And I think that's just epic.
Epic. I actually have the perfect example.
Okay.
You are the perfect example because, like you just said, you do a lot of stuff you did for free, just helping people, but you still do because we have someone in the Discord group that is running the Discord group
True.
for us or with us actually, and he set up a lot of stuff because he knew a lot about Discord. We were not like that was not supposed to happen. We
We didn't
setting,
even think about Discord.
no, we set up everything ourselves. We want to start a Patreon and give you guys extra content there. But what we did is you got a video of, maybe Omar, like he is
Yep.
from Turkey.
Yep.
And he sent the entire video, 4 minutes, 5 minutes long, explaining why you should basically be as a mentor or why he wanted you as a mentor. Really motivated, and he just wanted to learn from you. And that was a really fun video. And you said to me, and I was like, yo, what are you going to do? Obviously, like I said, I'm still in the positive mindset and really help others. But this sounded like a lot of work, especially since we're working on this. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I love that video so much. And he is so motivated. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I just want to help him.
But also because in that video, he was really looking for ways to help me. So he already said I could help you edit either videos or do, because it wasn't, I get quite some of these requests, whether it's video form or audio or whatever. And a lot of the times it's like, hey, be my mentor. I don't have money, but be my mentor.
Yeah.
Like give. Or,
Give. Yeah.
And this guy was mainly focused on, well, first of all, it was super respectful, but also I would love to help you back. And maybe a really funny side note, now that we speak about this, is one of the, I'd say, old mentors I've had, people who've helped me. I once said, well, how can I repay you? And he told me, well, just do the same to someone else.
Ooh, that's
which
so
is
cool.
super cool. And now I'm actually helping my old mentor every now and then with some things. And thinking about my first students, they help me a lot, and that, and they can sort of give back. So it's super cool. And to finish your story, I guess that guy helped us a lot now as well.
Yeah, so you helped Omar, and we talked with him as well, and he just helped with the Discord. And the thing is that we needed someone for Discord, but we didn't even have to look that far because, well, it was already sort of taken care of, or we found someone before even thinking about it. And this is not just one example. There is literally like 10 examples of people that you know. And if I would say tomorrow I need someone for this, then you will probably
know.
Yeah, you will probably know someone, and not even know someone. Also, someone that would actually do it to even like help you out, or just for a discount or something like that. And that's just time. That's what investing time into others looks like to me.
Yeah,
And
think about Marco.
Marco, yeah.
is if you ever see ads from Stan
if you see my face on
Instagram
or Facebook,
Marco is running your ads. I helped Marco for free when he was starting his business. Whenever I need ads, I ask Marco and he does it for free for me. I send people to him and I get a commission, so I actually make money off of that now.
Yeah.
I have my whole coaching business because I started helping E-Man for free.
Exactly.
So helping others is
it has definitely,
and it makes you feel good.
It makes you
Let's
feel
be
good,
honest.
definitely. So but that's the positive mindset, I think, in general. Just having a positive mindset will get you a lot further than the negative mindset, definitely. But I don't think that's a surprise.
I never get it why there's so many people who want other people to fail.
Oh yeah, as competition.
As competition, or I mean, why would you want someone to fail?
Another example would be there was another YouTube guy who other YouTuber. I'm calling YouTubers YouTube guys. I'm sounding like the boomer here, but shouldn't you say boomer?
We had a comment in the Discord group from someone who said Boomer Bob made a Zoomer Discord.
Boomer Bob made a Zoomer Discord, yeah. But there was another YouTuber who asked if I could. He was doing videos around people's daily routines, like workouts and diet, and I do not really have a video like that online, at least not recent. So he asked if I could create a video. That sounded like a lot of work, but I thought, yeah, that's a fun way to actually get a video for him done and up and running. And I don't know what I get out of it, but I think it's really fun to just to help him with that project. And I don't care what I get out of it. I think it's fun to do. And I will definitely help him because I've been in his shoes. He's around 100,000. He's still growing, still finding the concepts that he wants to make. So I definitely want to help with that. And that is what happened. So I sent him the video, like I made a 5-minute video. And actually, the guy behind the camera here, Jorg, my brother, he edited that. So we've actually put work into it and actually time that I am paying my brother for to actually do and a lot of stuff. So that, do I get anything out of it? I don't know, but it's
Maybe.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm helping someone, and I hope to see that video online. So we'll see. But that was
Number 4.
Number
so we have
4.
one more left.
number 5. They find and check in with mentors.
I don't agree. No.
The mentor of the mentors does not agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've sort of discussed this already in a way, but I think everyone should have a mentor.
And why are mentors so important? Like straight to the point.
They can prevent you from making mistakes. They can
Save time.
but also it's just so good to have someone who are not your parents or not someone you really, really know that you can speak with about things.
And just get thoughts and basically everything from the outside as well.
Exactly.
That's why the internet is so amazing, because back in the day, everyone was raised by their parents, obviously, and surroundings that were, in terms of the internet, very close by. Now it is everywhere. You can, only thing that's negative about that, you can definitely find yourself in a subreddit on Reddit and only think that is the truth and just read everything there and take that as the truth. Fun fact, if you go to, for example, a crypto subreddit on Reddit and you go to the crypto subreddit of like, Bitcoin or another like Ethereum, Cardano, for example, they all will say the same thing. It will go up. HODL. It will go up. It will go up. And if you take that as a fact, then there's a chance you're going to put in a lot of money and lose that short term for now. That's just what happens if you take that as truth. But
I agree. And I think also for a mentor, think about this. Why would you not pay someone, or there's a lot of people who also help others for free, as we just discussed. Maybe they have 10, 20, 30 years of experience. You can try and do the same, learn the same from just failing and trying, or just speak with them and get their knowledge. And again, I always think mentorships are super cool because I learn from everyone I mentor. They 9 out of 10 times become even friends. And, it's sort of a shortcut. And it's just so nice to have someone just to, again, the number 17 that we discussed, the feedback. Finding someone who will honestly give feedback.
Yeah.
If, when we asked, hey, what do you think of episode 0? Everyone said, oh, that's so cool. That's not what we wanted to. I mean, of course you want to hear it, but we want to hear the things that you guys said in the comments. But if I mentor someone and they ask me my opinion, I will tell the truth. And that's one of the first things I tell them before we start. Hey, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And that's not to insult you or to attack you. It's because I want you to succeed. And that's the only way to get.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that is the way to go if you want to save time, save money in the end. People say, oh, I'm spending money on a mentor. How am I saving money here? Well, because it saves you an insane amount of time probably. And mistakes, which can be very costly as well.
I agree.
So there are just only benefits from it. And yes, can you do it yourself? Good example would be, because money is not too big, like you're not making money from it, is workout courses. A workout course that I'm, for example, selling is that, but workout courses in general, if you buy it, can you find all the information online for most of the workout? I'm just say 100% of all the workout course you see online? Yes, you can find online. Did it take 5 years to make because of all the experience and everything and all the mistakes and also all the equipment that you shouldn't need if we're talking about money, and that saves money already? Yes, you can save a lot of time by buying a workout course and start right away with the proper workouts instead of finding it out yourself for half a year and then building from there and then building another 3 years of experience, 5 years of experience, and get to the same level as the one that you initially would have bought from. And normal courses take like 3 months. Then you would have learned the same thing in 3 months and worked from there. So that would have been a shortcut of a few years.
Exactly.
Not in terms of necessary growth for muscles or money, but it's the shortcut of knowing. So you only need to apply it consistently now, and you will get the gains.
I think about the dilemma that I sort of ask you.
Yeah.
So yes, I have students who I keep accountable because they tell me these are my goals. I want to achieve this. Help me. I have a business coach. I go to her once a month. she knows my goals. And if I start a stupid business again, she's like, "But wait, it's not a mentor, but it's at least someone who, has a bird's eye view, because you're in a tunnel vision. If we are just working on one thing the whole time, it's easy to sort of lose track of other options. So it's nice to have someone out there. I would like to say one little thing though, and we've discussed this in a previous podcast as well. Do some research before hiring a mentor.
Oh, definitely.
There are people, unfortunately, who sell whatever they want to sell, and that's the only way they make money.
And they say, do you want to make as much money as me?
Yep.
Buy my course, even though they only make money through the course and not through an actual product that they want to, are selling to you that you can eventually create.
Exactly.
And not saying the courses are bad.
Oh, definitely not. No.
I mean,
I even know one example of a guy who came to me and he said, "Oh yeah, I've been mentored by this person." And I said, "Oh, cool. And how much did you learn?" Well, the first thing that he told me is I had to start mentoring people. So I paid him 2,000 euros, but I've already made 4,000 in mentoring people. And I said, "Okay, so what do you teach those people?" "Yeah, they should start mentoring people." It's like a pyramid scheme.
It's a pyramid scheme, yeah.
And he was super happy. I went, "But no, please don't, because that's not a good mentor, a good coach. For selling your workout courses, do you need to sell your workout courses in order to be able to live, to sustain yourself? No. Do I need to coach people in order to, sustain myself? No. We make money through YouTube businesses, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we like to help people on the side. And cool, if that makes me more money, great, perfect, cool.
Yeah, sick.
But I don't have to do it. And if it's your only source of income, then you're probably not a good mentor.
Probably not. That's a good way to actually look at a mentor. But I mean, there are a lot of good mentors out there. Find
This
someone.
is not saying you shouldn't get a mentor.
This was exactly the opposite. But mentor could also be seen, because if that's too expensive, definitely for people. Because we've seen people in the Discord, for example, that are 13 and also that are 30 plus, 40 plus. We've seen different people. But for someone that just started out 15, 16, 17, a mentor could be expensive, very expensive. So what is a mentor then? Well, the internet. A Discord, for example. We're saying the Discord a lot, but we're trying to provide some value, and there is a lot of people in there right now. So if you want to get some like-minded people to talk with, then you can check that out there. But also go check out Reddit. Go check out somewhere else on the internet, and you will just learn from others. Do not try to do your own research by Googling everything. Ask questions and expect answers that are honest, and take that as feedback.
Exactly. And maybe as a last thing here, I always tell everyone, I give you advice, I tell you what I think, but it doesn't mean that you have to believe it, but that works for you. Again, it's finding out what works for you. So, ask feedback and ask maybe several mentors or people about how would you do this, and then based on their answers, find what works for you. Always be, think for yourself. Don't just, if I tell you do this, think, okay, do I want to do that? Does it help? Because at the end of the day, you have to, you're still responsible yourself.
Exactly.
And don't just copy everything you see.
And I would say these are our top 5.
These are our top 5.
And I want to add, there are 2 really important ones that we briefly discussed. One is positivity, definitely. And the other one is exercise.
Yep.
All successful people exercise. That was also concluded from the study, the research. And why we are not going too much in depth in this one is because it will probably be another hour, another podcast on itself. And we're definitely going to be making that as well. Why exercise is important. And it's just exercise. Exercise is really important for building habits as well.
Exactly.
But like I said, we can go into depth as well. So we really want to point that out, that those are really important. And all of the 17, except for getting up early. The getting up early, we agree with. So you can definitely look into those as well. But these were our top 5s, and I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, Smudge League, subscribe, hit bell. If you're watching on YouTube, if you can give it a heart on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, that would be epic. And a review, we definitely appreciate it.
We definitely appreciate it.
If you want to see more of this, let us know where you can let us know. Socials as well. And we are going into extra content. We're going more in depth on how we apply these habits. We're going to be posting this, a little plug there, and we're trying to keep that as cheap as possible, so it is accessible to basically everyone for extra content. And it's a great way to support the podcast as well. So if you want to check that out, that's much appreciated. And we're planning on, there is already some extra content there, and we're planning on making a lot of extra content after every single episode. So get ready for that, how we apply these tricks, or how we apply these habits. And see you next week.